could tell I'm, like, starting to skip encounters a little bit more, because, like, you know, I like Symphonia, and, like, it's not that I want the playthrough to be over, but you can tell, like, while the gameplay is fun, it's, like, probably my least favorite thing about Symphonia, which sounds really oxymoronic. Because Tales of, like, on average, Tales of games have, like, some of the best action gameplay, period. But Symphonia specifically, like, I like everything else in Symphonia a lot more than I like the combat. And the combat is still, like, fun. It's still pretty good. I just like a lot of things more in Symphonia. So you can tell I'm, like, starting to skip fights a little bit more, just because, like, I want to get through dungeons a little faster. Don't you worry, we'll have plenty of time to do more fights with super bosses and such. We still have a lot to conquer. Yeah, Symphonia's combat's, like, good. It's dated. It was made in 2003. What are you gonna do? It laid a good groundwork for the future of the series. Got the white seed. Now we should be able to grab the Ymir fruit with the eagles. Laid a good groundwork for the rest of the series, though. Without Symphonia, or without, like, Eternia, I even say. Like, without the older games, we wouldn't have the newer ones. Like, the combat's good enough to play the game. It's even fun in some respects, but it's not, like, it's obviously not to the level of, like, Grace's Berseria, Arise, or even, like, Zillia, or Abyss, or something. Like this. It's dated is what it is. Like, it's good, it's just dated. This time a white flower bloomed. I'm sure there are other white flowers. It's everything else about Symphonia, though, that, like, sets it high above. Like, the puzzles and the dungeons. Characters are good. Not the best cast ever, but they're good. And the story is good. I'm gonna be real with you. I think I still like the story a lot. I think I like the story less than I did, like, all these years. As much as I do like the story, I'll admit that the story, like, isn't even... It's not as good as I remember, basically. And by remember, I mean the last time I played this game, which was, like, 4 years ago. I guess if you want to count when the remaster dropped, but, like... I speed ran the game when the remaster dropped, because I was like, I only did it to NG plus this playthrough, so... Like, the story is good, don't get me wrong, it's got some good themes in it, but, like, it's definitely, like... There's some stuff I notice about the story that, like, I'm a little more, like, critical of. It's still a good story, but it definitely, like, has some issues, I guess. Which we'll talk about later. Would I still say the story is good? Yeah, absolutely. But if you were to ask me, like, 4 years ago to now, I think I thought the story was better 4 years ago than I do right now. Is the truth of the matter, I think. Please. Thank you.
Cake.
Ow.
Demon spear.
Good gravity well. I knocked him right into it. He had knockdown. At least you can hit the enemies when they're on the ground, though. He took, like, very little damage.
I was just warming up.
Hey, additional gold. What's even the point of this area? Just for that boar? Take me away, eagle. Story's still really good, though. It's still a good enough story. It's still a good story. I feel like before I thought it was a great story. Now I think it's a good story. Like, I used to put this as, like, one of the... Maybe not one of the best stories, but, like, a contender for one of the best stories. And now I'm just like, yeah, the story's good. It's good. It's not great, though. And I'll get into why when we get to the credits. I think it's a good story now. I don't think it's a great story anymore, but I used to think it was a great story. Please. Thank you. No, I don't think it's middle of the road. I think it's better than middle of the road. I think the story's good. I just don't think it's great like I used to think. I used to think the story was great. Now I think it's just good. I don't think middle of the road is doing it justice. Hey, I'm here now. Well, don't I need to, like... Yeah, I remember this. We need to, like, get the board to hit it on both sides. Like, my opinion of Symphonia is basically the same as when I last played it. Like, I pretty much still feel the same about everything except the story. The story is gonna have, like... I feel differently. Everything else, like, yeah, combat, good enough. Dated, but a good enough combat system. Why is Lloyd, like, skating? Like... Combat's good enough. Laid the groundwork for future games. Still, like, fun in its own right, but dated and not the best of the gameplay. Characters are still good. There are better Tales of casts, but still good. Still good characters. Music is still pretty good. Dungeons are still really fun. Puzzles are great. Everything probably remains the same except for the story. I feel a little less with the story. Still good, though. Just not great, you know? Like, go watch my review of my original playthrough. I probably said the story was great, and now I'm gonna say the story is good. And there are a couple of reasons why I feel like that's the case. Good Thunderblade. And Genius took care of that bird all by himself, without letting it interrupt his casting. Like, I like Symphonia's story more than, like, Hearts, and... I'm trying to think. I like it more than, like, Hearts. I like it more than, like, all the older Tales games and stuff. I probably like its story more than Vesperia. Vesperia's story is one of the weaker points of it. But Vesperia has Yuri, who's probably one of the better protagonists, and a pretty good cast of characters as well. But if we're talking about the story, I probably like Symphonia's story more than Vesperia. And obviously Zestiria. I like the story more than Symphonia. How do I get the fruit to spawn again? Is it... I think I have to distract this fish. I vaguely remember how this goes. I think what it is... I think extending it from Tales of, right? I think what it is I don't think Symphonia's story, like, necessarily got worse or anything. I think I'm just playing a lot more RPGs. Symphonia was, like, probably, like... The first RPG I played was FF8. Well, no, it was Lufia 2, wasn't it? I think Lufia 2 was the first RPG I played. Not counting Pokemon. I don't really count Pokemon, but... Lufia 2 and 3 were, like, the first RPGs I played. And then we went to, like, FF8 and FF7. Symphonia was one of the earlier RPGs I played. And I think that's what it is. Like, the story's still good. I think I've just been playing a lot of other games, and I'm like, there's better stories than Symphonia. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's necessarily that Symphonia's story's, like, not as good as I remember. I think I'm just comparing it to other games. Not in Tales of alone, like the Wild Arms franchise, or, like, other FF games, like 10 and 9, for example. I think I'm just comparing it to other games. So in that respect, like, Symphonia's story, compared to those, it's like, you know, there are better stories out there. But the story in Symphonia is still good. If that makes sense. Where'd the fish go? Is he still there? Is he still hanging out? I don't see him. Need to remember how to get the fruit. That's the main thing. Which tree gives you the fruit again? Because once I remember how to get the fruit to the ground, like, I got this puzzle on lockdown. I just don't remember what gets the fruit. It might be that tree over there. This one over this way on the east. But yeah, it's just, I've played a lot of games in recent memory. Like, Symphonia is one of the earlier RPGs I played, and compared to them, like, I've just experienced so many great stories. There's the fruit. I think that's kind of what it goes to. I think it's a little unfair to be like, oh, Symphonia's story is, like, not that good. It's just there are better stories. That's fine. Like, the story in Symphonia is still good, though. Still a good time. Alright, do this. Get that fruit. Younger me hated this puzzle, by the way, but now I love this puzzle. You're gonna stop, right? Oh, I have to get the big fish first? Yeah. I didn't think he was gonna go that far. I thought the fish was gonna, like, wait before the big one. Alright, we have to distract him now then. Well, no, let me land the fruit first, then distract him. Then get the little fish. I did not expect the little fish to go to the big fish right away. I thought I was gonna have to use another lily pad. But it's later in the puzzle that I'm thinking. Symphonia is still probably, like, one of my favorite Tales games. It's still up there, too. So, like, that goes to show that, like, you know, I still love it as much as I normally did. I think less of the story now, but, like, I still love the game as much as I do. Pretty much. It's still one of my favorites. I messed up again, dang it. This is what I get for talking so much with chat. This is embarrassing. I know exactly what to do, I just keep messing it up. Hey, I chopped the fruit. Fruit, then the worms. We have to distract the big fish. Yeah, I don't know. We probably have, like... It depends on how far we get in this stream, I think. But, like... I feel like after this, we might have, like, 3 to 4 streams of Symphonia left. Like, we're definitely coming to the end, I think. We don't got too much left. We'll definitely be done with the game in September. I already knew we were going to be done with it in September. We'll be done with it pretty soon, though. We don't got much left. Alright, this time, middle tree stump to summon the worms. Prove that I know what I'm doing. Nice. Okay, get that worm. Yeah, we're pretty close to the end of Symphonia. I don't know if we'll see another Tales game before the Graces remaster. I think the only way we see a Tales playthrough before the Graces remaster is if they decide to release a Destiny 2 patch, like, in the next few months. Before the year ends. I think that's the only chance. I don't think I'm gonna fish out, like, Zestiria or Legendia. I think I'd rather just see if they want to release Destiny 2 and say, hey, it's ready to be played. If not, then Graces Remaster is our next one. And I really hope 2025 has some good... I hope 2025, like, we get some good remasters, because I'll probably play whatever remasters are announced there, too. So hopefully the remasters, like, come as fast as I think they will, because then we'll probably get a lot of Tales content in 2025. And the 30th anniversary is, like, late 2025, right? So, maybe new game announcement? Maybe we'll talk about the new game. Maybe the ports are probably... I think the ports are supposed to take place for 2 years. I think it said 2025 to 2026. So, hopefully that's their way of bridging the gap. That might be their way of bridging the gap to the new game. I mean, that's the smart way to do it. That's kind of what I wanted them to do, and I'm glad they're actually doing it. Okay, now this part... Younger me had trouble with this part, but it's not that hard in hindsight. The song game really isn't that tricky. It's like, you know, it's really not as hard as it seems. Can I break this rock? I hope the fish doesn't go away, though. Okay, no, he's still there. Yeah, oddly enough, that fish will not eat the fruit. You'd think it differently. But yeah, he doesn't eat the fruit. That's what I was confusing it with. Wait, how do I get that fish to look away, actually? Like, right now, he can just eat the fruit, but he just waits. Otherwise, the dungeon would be impossible. That fish. Yeah, that one's looking away. It's guarding its territory. But it's oblivious when it's swimming. Lloyd, why are you squaring off against that fish? Shut up, I was just taking notice. How do I... Is that fish really gonna just ignore the little one? That logically shouldn't really be how it works. I'm trying to think here. It really feels like that fish is gonna take it. Yeah, that one I think is just stupid. I don't think he'll do anything. We have to wait until this big one is going towards the big one just waiting there, like behind him. So we want to wait till like now, basically. Like do it now? I think I have that right? Yeah, that one just ignores the little one. It shouldn't work like that, but it does. And now it's pretty simple. Just gotta look for another lily pad. Yo, Ymir fruit. A skit. Ymir fruit, huh? I bet it tastes good. Ah, no, Lloyd, you can't eat it. We have to give it to that child. Lloyd, how could you think such a thing? I'm disappointed in you. Lloyd, that's just wrong. Okay, it was just a thought. Lloyd, it looks like they're treating you the way they treat me. I think we can be good friends. What's that supposed to mean? Ah, don't drag me into your world. Alright. 2 hours in stream. We still have a lot of time. We'll get through Lathian Gorge and probably, like, most, if not all, the Tower of Salvation sequence. Still have a good amount of time to make some progress. Because after Lathian Gorge, we're going to do some side quests. They shouldn't take too long. Hopefully we can get to the Tower of Salvation. There are 2 more visits of that place. The fruit is mine! Oh, why'd you go to that one? How could this fish make me take an extra trip? That took forever. No, it really didn't, though. Fandom is too hard on this puzzle. It's fine to not like it, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Come on. Yo, Ymir fruit. Alright, cool. We're done. Now we can move on. Hey kid, got your fruit back. I'm gonna walk as Colette because we'll need to find the dogs. And the Wonder Chef. Here you go. It's a Ymir fruit we promised. Take it to your mother. Thank you. They said humans are inconsiderate, but you guys are different. Thank you. Here, take this. And a metal sphere, whatever that does. Also, not gonna let me roam as Rain anyway because they leave the village here. Spoiler alert. A hidden elven village, Heimdall. Yo, Kratos, my boy. So you've made it here. What? Then you do know how to cure Colette's illness. And if I did? Why are you helping us? Why are you giving us clues about how to save her? And how'd you know that Colette's angel toxicosis was the same illness that one of Mythos' the hero's companion had? Words. That sentence was hard to get through. And what do you hope to accomplish by asking that? Well, there's no time. Hurry. This is the village of elves. No half-elf may pass. What? This is a defense measure against those who brought catastrophe to our village. If you cannot accept that, then you humans may not enter either. Lloyd, we'll wait here. We'll leave the rest in your hands. Alright. Talk celebrating Mythos as a hero is forbidden in this village. Why? We have no need to explain. Just do as we say. Yeah, okay, sure. Whatever, losers. Alright, are there new... Do I want to bother buying weapons? I don't think I want to bother buying equipment. We're not really having trouble, and I want to save my money for other stuff. Welcome, this is an Elven item shop. I will take some items, though.